What's up, guys? Welcome to another vlog. In this vlog, I'm going to talk about support systems and why they're extremely important. For me personally, when I came out as trans, I talked about it before my first vlog, how I made a post on Instagram saying basically, this is me, I identify as a male. It's been weighing heavy on my heart, and I finally decided to come forward with it. So I did that, and it took a while for me to do it because I didn't want to make a mistake. I didn't want to say I was something that I end up not being. I didn't want to be a trans trender. I didn't want to be wishy-washy about it. I wanted to be like, you know what, this is me, this is why, cut and dry, point blank, period. And it's not that I wasn't sure. I was sure. I've been sure. But the problem for me was, is this something that I want everyone to know and everyone to refer to me as? I've been suffering gender dysphoria for as long as I can remember, struggling between, am I feminine or do I have feminine qualities because I was born and assigned at birth a female, and my dysphoria stemmed from there. It's like, there is a balance of feminine and masculine qualities. What does feminine mean? Define it. You can't really define it without stereotyping. A lot of people, if you ask what does feminine mean, they say dainty, soft, emotional. They think someone who lets their emotions dictate their decisions. They think of someone who isn't strong, someone who needs to be protected. Extremely stereotypical. If you ask someone to define masculine, they instantly say hard, tough, independent, stubborn, angry, loud, confident, cocky. A lot of times when you ask people to define either or, they make the feminine seem very unwanted, very weak. They make the male or the masculine seem important, independent, strong, able to take care of themselves. And the stereotyping has been going on for as long as society has been set in place. It's been, the man brings home the bacon, he works, he does this, he does that, he does the third. The woman stays home, takes care of the home, cooks, cleans, all the other extra shit, has children, procreates. It's this very set gender role stereotyping thing. So when you take someone who identified as gender fluid for a while, it was like, well, are you equal? And for me personally, I'm a Libra. I was born October 1st, so I'm very concerned with balance. I'm getting more and more into Ayurveda, which is a focus of health, being in sync with your body and your mind. The masculine and feminine falls into yin yang. You have the dark circle inside the light circle. You have the light circle inside the dark circle. They make one, but they each have aspects equal and aspects in one another. So when that happens, you try and define yourself with what you feel. And everyone has different levels of masculinity. Everyone has different levels of femininity. Just because a male has more feminine qualities doesn't make him gay. It doesn't make him metrosexual. Just because a woman has more of the masculine characteristics doesn't make her a lesbian. It doesn't make her this, that, or the other. It's just how she is. So for me, it was a very trying time because I didn't want to lose any of my femininity, because what if I needed it? But a lot of people associate femininity with emotion. We're all born with emotions. We all have emotions for a reason. We all get sad. We all get angry. We all get, depressed. We get happy. We get euphoric. We experience different emotions because we're meant to experience different emotions. We're not meant to be robots. If we were, we wouldn't have emotions. And yeah, there's sometimes when you want to completely remove emotions, you don't want any connection with any emotion. You just want to be, a robot. You don't want to care. You want to be apathetic, you want to be lazy, and you don't have the motivation to do anything or be anything. And that's called depression. So, a lot of these things are associated with negativity because they can be negative. Anger is associated with negativity. I've talked about this in a puff time before. A lot of people associate anger with something that's bad. You don't want to be angry. You want to be chill, docile, euphoric. You can't always be that way. You can't always be zen. You have to have something going on. And everyone cracks, everyone breaks at some point. So for me, it was, I need some of these aspects. I was born with them. I like to be very in tune with my emotions and know what's going on and know when my body needs something or when I need to step away from a situation to evaluate my own self so I can handle the situation better. We all have a personal bill of rights, and it's okay to say no. It's okay to feel a certain type of way. It's okay to be not so sure about something. And so for me, femininity, growing up, I was raised that being female meant that you were weak and you were a step below men. And that's a very conservative, closed-minded viewpoint that a lot of people from the generation before me have, baby boomers. They have a lot of the gender roles ingrained in their heads. It's been ground in there, and it's never coming out. So they have this perception of it's one or the other. It's not, there's no in between. There's no black or white, or there's no gray area, sorry. There's a black and the white area. There's polarized thinking. You think either it's this or it's this. There is no in between. And I'm trying to bring that in between aspect into my life, that yes, it's okay to have feminine qualities and masculine qualities. Yes, it's okay to embrace them and to become comfortable with them and experience them and have them in your everyday life because you need them. We need to be balanced human beings. And so for me, it was difficult because I didn't want to lose any part of me that I needed, maybe later, but I needed eventually. You don't want to just cut it all out of your life. It's not a cookie cutter way of living. So for me, that's why I was so hesitant about being like, yeah, I'm male, transgender, because I do hold some feminine qualities. I may not appear feminine, I may not act feminine at all, but I do have my moments where I can come across as more feminine. And that's why a lot of people thought I was a gay male back in the day when I was trying to discover myself, because I was in touch with emotions. I had a softer side. I was more understanding when I would, when I was portraying myself as Peter, I had more of an understanding of, some of the people that I would talk to when they would be upset about something. If their boyfriend was a dick to them, most guys are like, hell yeah, man, he had every right to do that to you. And some guys are like, nah, man, no. And then they just want to do that to get under your skin and get closer to you. And then you've got the people who actually genuinely care and genuinely are concerned about your emotions. And then you sneeze in a video and wonder if you should edit it out or leave it in for hilarity. And I'm going to leave that one in. But, yeah, I had those aspects, and a lot of people would be like, well, you're gay. There's no way you're male, or there's no way that you're straight, because you're in touch with your emotions. What is that? And I think that just shows maturity on my part. It doesn't mean that I'm gay or feminine. It just means that I'm mature enough to say, yeah, I got emotions. So what? I will, say something again to my face. Yeah, I might cry about it because it hurt my feelings, but I'll still punch you in the throat. And we can settle it that way. And it's okay to feel emotion. It's okay to cry. And a lot of guys won't admit that, or a lot of guys aren't comfortable with crying because they think it's a pussy feminine thing to do, and it's not. It's being in touch with your emotions, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I know I said I wanted to talk about support systems, and I kind of got on a tangent about that, but anyway, I want to roll right back to what I said I was going to do, and stick with the support system topic. So, with my support system, I was very scared, not by the support system that I would receive from my friends, but by the support system I would receive from my family. And by family, I don't mean like Ryan, who's like a brother to me. He's the closest thing I've ever had to a brother, and I am happy to call him my brother. And I don't mean family like Kara's family, who are my in-laws. I mean, she and I are going to get married, so my mother-in-law and my, I don't even know, aunt-in-law, my grandmother-in-law, my in-laws are super supportive of me. They're like, hell yeah, Vic's a guy, he. And they're on board with it. And, I wasn't scared about that. I wasn't scared about my friends, because I'd already weeded out the people who didn't like me for who I was and wanted to mold me into who they wanted me to be. I cut them out of my life, because I don't need that in my life. If I'm a certain way, you're gonna either be on board with it or you can walk out the door. Nothing is holding you back from walking out the door. I'm not afraid of people leaving me anymore, because I'm independent now. I depend on myself. And that's something that took me a long time to swallow. Pause. Because, I used to be super dependent on people. I needed validation and reassurance from people. And that's not to say that I still don't need that. Validation is a very important thing. You have to feel valid and valued as a human being before you can really make steps to be comfortable in who you are. So, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who is standing by me, to my support system. I just want to thank Ryan, who is completely accepted me as his brother. He told me tonight, actually, that he's proud of me for being confident in who I am, and he's proud to call me a brother. I want to say thank you to Kara, my fiance, of course, because she has been my backbone throughout this whole process. She took me to a couple of her meetings that she had at her school, the Safe Zone meetings, which taught about, terminology for the LGBTQA plus community. It taught about, all kinds of things, and I'm Safe Zone certified. I can educate people on terms and different things like that. She's been my backbone throughout this whole process. When she met me, I identified as lesbian. I went from that to gender fluid to transgender, all within our relationship, and she's been super supportive. She's like, I don't care what you've got going on in your pants. I don't care about any of that. You are who you are, and I love you for that. And I just want to say thank you to her for that. She's been super supportive throughout this whole thing, and I don't know where I would be without her. And I want to just say thank you to all my other friends who have been there for me. They say that, I have their full support. There we go. I have their full support. I want to thank Natalie. She's been my friend since, I met her when she was, 12? And I was 15. That's so long ago, but she's been my friend since then. We've had our moments, but she stuck by me through this. She messaged me and said, I have her full support. A lot of other friends that I hadn't even heard from in a while have said, this is great. I fully support you. I'm glad you're happy. And that's been such a reassuring thing to know that nobody looks down on me for this. Nobody thinks, you're not male. That brings me to my next point. My family. My birth family. I don't talk to my father about my lifestyle at all. He has no interest. The only interest he would have is to make fun of it, to use derogatory slang towards me, to just completely drive everything that I stand for into the ground under his big foot, under his Bible thumping, better than, holier than thou attitude. He will crush any hope and dream that I have. I don't talk to him about this stuff. My grandparents, they would probably have a heart attack if they knew. The only blood family that have supported me has been Ika, my cousin, and her parents. Well, I don't know about her dad, but her mom supports me. And, she's been like a sister to me. And knowing that I have that support from her means a lot. But I really want to touch on my my mother, it's just been extremely difficult. Sorry, I'm, getting in touch with my emotions, but it's been extremely difficult because she refuses. She refuses to accept me for who I am. And she's refused to accept me for who I am since I came out as lesbian, way, way back in the day. And, I've had a range of emotions about that. It's been hate, it's been anger, it's been frustration, it's been just misery, it's been depression, it's been anxiety. And it's just extremely frustrating to know that no matter how many times I tell her, how many conversations we have, how many heart-to-hearts, if you want to say, that we have, she doesn't try. And we've gotten in some bouts back and forth where she claims, like, I love you no matter what. But, and it's always that one word, that but. I will never see you as a son. I will never accept you as male. You don't look male. You were born to me as a daughter, and I will never see you as anything but my daughter. But I love you. And that's like a slap in the face. A lot of people are like, well, your mom will come around, or she just needs time to adjust. You have been her daughter for 20-some years, and yet I know that. I'm not stupid. I know that it's hard. If you've birthed someone, if they're your spawn, you're used to something, and I identified as female for the longest time because this is part of what I was afraid of as well, was the lack of acceptance. And it may seem ridiculous that I would want acceptance from someone who is so, like, anti anything, and I can't wrap my head around it. I just want my own mother to accept me for who I am, or to at least try. And she claims she's trying. She's like, I'm trying. I really am trying. I know that every time I use female pronouns or your government name, that, I think, oh, you're going to be mad at me, or you're going to hate me, or whatever. And I'm like, I don't hate you, but I don't like the fact that you're not respecting my pronouns. You're not respecting the name that I would like to go by. And, she will use female pronouns indefinitely. And I tell her that. I'm like, look, if you catch yourself using a female pronoun, you're like, oh man, you're going to be so mad at me. You're going to be mad at me that I use she. Don't do it again. She'll literally talk to me, use a female pronoun, and if she claims that she catches it, but she doesn't correct herself. She doesn't try and redeem herself. She just keeps using female pronouns. She just keeps using my name. And it's like she overdoes it. It's like she, her, she, her, Victoria, blah, blah, blah. She, her, she. And I'm standing right there like, really? You claim that you understand that I want to be called he, him, his, Vic. But you don't take the time to try. And I'm not expecting her to wake up one day and be like, oh, I have a son. And she was like, well, maybe once you start looking male, then I'll start saying he. So it's all about appearance to you? And that's what frustrates me so bad, is like, not every male is going to look male. Not every female is going to look female. We can't all afford hormones. We can't all afford to pack, or we can't all afford to bind. We can't afford to do all the extra shit we have to do just to freaking pass. Are you kidding me? I am so happy when people say he. And if my mom's with me, she's the first one to say, she. And I'm like, who is she? Who are you talking to? Like, that moment where I pass to somebody, some stranger, I pass as a male, I get so happy inside. And then all of a sudden my mom's like, no, I'm going to ruin this. And it may not be consciously, but subconsciously, man, she's tearing those female pronouns up. And it's just super frustrating. Support is so, so, so important. I just wish that she would see that. I wish that she would just try. And I want to end this on a happy note. I don't want to end this on me bashing my mom for not coming to grips with what I'm trying to say, but I just want to say thank you again to everyone who's supporting me, watching these videos, showing me some love, leaving comments, leaving messages. Just your support has been amazing, and I really, really need it right now. It's crucial to me to have support because my own mom can't give me the support that I need. So it's very important that I receive support. So I just wanted to say thank you. I'm sorry this kind of turned into a ramble, but I just needed to get that off my chest. So thank you guys again so much, and I hope you stick around with me and stay tuned for the next vlog. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.